Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your mid-19 tarot reading. I've got two images for you that I'm going to relay for you right now, but it's weird because both of them are food related. So I don't know if you're craving specific foods, if you are, getting to the point where, if, for example, if you have been fasting or dieting, now you're in an environment where you want to try everything. You might be thrust in a new environment where everything looks delicious, where everything looks really good. For some of you, you might have recently stopped smoking, and so food tastes better. So I'm seeing a lot of food imagery. The two main pictures that came out is the first thing is I see this egg, okay? And it seems like somebody drew a face on it and it's standing upright. So you know how eggs can't really stand upright, but this one is standing upright. And so it's kind of like if you touch it, it's going to bobble back and forth and then it centers itself and then it stands upright. So when I was seeing this egg, it seems like it was like, about to topple over. It was spinning back and forth, about to topple over. And then it just rights itself and it finds its center. And then somebody drew a happy face on it. So I feel like there was a situation here in the past, for some of you, in the very recent past, where you had a lot of responsibilities imposed upon you. And I feel like you might have been pulled in multiple directions. You might have tend to this, tend to that, tend to, other things. And you felt very, very ungrounded, unstable. And you felt like you had very, very little time left for yourself. Okay. And then I also feel like for whatever reason, there were constant fluctuations in energy. One minute you have to do this, and the next you're called to do that. And then the next, it's like it's very disruptive. So the environment itself is very, very demanding. It requires you to be flexible and versatile, and you had to wear many hats all at the same time. So it was a situation where it was like the work was overwhelming. And so with the egg finally finding its center, I feel like you've got it. Okay, you've mastered it. You've managed to kind of handle all of your responsibility. And finding your center means knowing exactly what you're capable of, knowing exactly what your limitations are, being able to tell somebody, hey, that's not the realm of expertise. Why don't you do that? Or why don't you help me with that? Or, delegate. So like, I feel like you're no longer being pulled in multiple directions because you're just like, I'm not going to put myself through a situation blindly find a way out. I'm going to ask for help or I'm going to, defer to the experts. Okay. I'm also feeling for many of you, there was a situation where you felt really, really wobbly. You felt really unsure. Am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? Am I handling it that to the best of in the best way possible? Am I doing it right? So you were dealing with a lot of self doubt. Okay, did I do it right? Was it the right thing to do? Was it that the best optimal outcome? And so when a Sagittarius feels really, really destabilized and very, very wobbly, kind of like that egg, they might make hasty decisions that might not be good for them or the environment that they're in. But I feel like with the egg finally regaining its center and standing upright and smiling, it's sort of like, I've mastered it. I've done it. I did it. And I'm happy with the results. Okay. The second image, I see this octopus. He's got a chef's hat on. Okay, so I feel like he's a short order cook. I don't know if that's what they're called, short order cook in like a diner or something. So he's got like octopus have like 8 tentacles, and he's got like 8 pans with eggs on them and bacon and other things frying. Okay, all lined up on the range in a row. And he's like flipping the pancakes and then flipping the eggs. Some eggs are over easy. He's scrambling another egg. So all of his tentacles are moving and he's handling everything meticulously. They all cook at the same rate. Everything is standardized. Everything is structured. Everything is done in a really orderly fashion. And then while he's doing that, he sticks out one tentacle behind him to get all the plates lined up. And then at the end, he dumps everything that's in the frying pan onto the plate. It's like perfectly portioned. Everything looks really good. The sunny side up, eggs are sunny side up. and then he, the waiters or the waitresses comes and busts these plates to the patrons. Okay, so not only are you guys handling a gazillion things and doing it in style, being able to take care of everything in your environment, but you're at a point where you are really, exercising self mastery, okay? Mastering your environment, taking care of situations. You might have been very, very, very busy lately, but for whatever reason, you've already mastered things. You've already um, learned how to multitask. You've already learned how to not the stress affect you and to be able to deliver a lot of like high volume of like I'm seeing like deliver high volume of things or like finish a lot of projects and doing it all correctly, doing it almost like with your eyes closed. It's like you've mastered something, you already know how to do it, and you don't even have to, you're not wobbled by it. You're not buckling under the stress and the pressure, okay? So that's what I'm seeing here. A lot of self mastery, a lot of situations where you have come out on top. And I also feel, yep, self mastery. We have the magician here. And I also feel like you're in an environment where you can really kick up your feet and relax now and have, a cup of coffee, have some tea, and just, hang out in your bathrobe and be fine. Okay. So at the end of the workday, that's what it feels like to me. It's like, I've already got this, things can't phase me anymore. I've got multiple hands. I've got multiple brain cells. I've got multiple things that I can handle at the same time. I know how to multitask. I know how to juggle things and not drop the ball and not have to, do anything where I feel like I'm wobble. Okay. So I feel like you've come to a sense where you are finding your center and you're doing things almost like with great ease, knowing things like the back of your hand and not feel like you're tripping up on or things are creeping up on you or that you're tripping up on things. Okay. So the energy is really, really good. What I'm also feeling here with this spread, first of all, we have here the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So I want to talk about this first. This is a situation where Scorpio got the same cards, and I shuffle the deck. So Scorpio got the same cards in the same position. Okay, so let me talk about this person. I have here the Queen of Cups. This is a water sign: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and this is somebody that is, I feel like, you're the apple of their eyes. Okay, they really, really care about you. They have a great deal of love and trust when it comes to you. There's almost this sense of like somebody wanting to protect another person, somebody observing another person, really looking at another person. For some of you, if this is an ex, for example, they're really, really looking at you, trying to figure out what you're doing, what you're thinking about, wanting to reach out to you, wanting communication. And especially for some of you, if this is an ex and there has been, bad blood, resentment, and things like that, I feel like there is a sense of, I wish things had been different. I wish that I could reach out. I wish that, it's like two water under the bridge, okay? It's like a situation where it's like you can't really repair it, you can't really fix it, you can't really move away from it. And so I feel like for many of you, there might have been some recent arguments here over, who's doing what, whose responsibility is this, who's causing the rift in the relationship, as well as, the possibly the breakup in the relationship. So that's the front and center. And for many of you, you might have buried yourself in the work environment just trying to, distract yourself. And then I also feel like if for those of you who are dating somebody, there's a new person emerging in your life. And I feel like there's a sense of innocence about this person where you want to protect this person. And they have been through some really, really bad things, like bad relationships, bad cycles, bad endings in their life. And so they're really gravitating towards, your strength and your power, and they wish they could be a lot more like you. For some of you, this is a coworker. For others, this is like a new love interest that you have recently embarked on a relationship with, and I would say within the previous month or within the past 2 months. Okay, I feel like it's very, very new. And I feel like energetically, this person really wants a relationship. Okay, they're looking at the two fish, and they're just like, I want a partner. I want somebody that I can feel like a pea in the pods with, peas in a pod with. I want somebody that's going to be by my side, and I want somebody that will be there for me. So I feel like they're really relationship oriented, but they got out of a bad relationship. And so you're not really sure if you want to jump in just yet, and you're not really sure if this is something that you want to get involved in just yet. Okay, so this is somebody that you're heavily communicating with and you're trying to get to know. Okay, sorry for the interruption, Saggies. I had a knock at the door and I had to record this at a different time, so apologies. Hopefully the glare is gone so that you can see the cards better. So I was talking about the water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, potentially, or somebody that has a lot of love for you, actually. And I feel like, you're trying to get to know this person. You're trying to, I feel, reintroduce yourself to this person to see if it's something that you still want to get involved in or somebody that you still want to be with. And then I do have another person. This is an air sign, so an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is the Queen of Swords. Keep in mind the cards are not gender specific, okay? I feel like this energy, if it pertains to another person, there is a very strong attraction between you and this person. Okay, we have here the Devil. And this is a relationship where there's a lot of attraction. There's also a lot of power struggles as well as control issues. And I feel like the power struggle is just that there's a lot of like mental jostling, like back and forth between you and this person. In a way, I feel like it's a mixture of mental rapport because communication seems to flow well between you and them. And the communication is a little bit more on the superficial level in a way where you kind of like ask each other, how was your day? How was yours? How's work? And the conversation, for whatever reason, it's hard to reach an emotional depth with this person. Whereas with this water sign, I feel like conversation flows very naturally. It's easy for you to reach the emotional depth because I feel like they bring that side out of you. Whereas with this person, the conversation is a little bit more cerebral, philosophical, ideological, which is something that you appreciate too. But I feel like you're not really sure um, where this person is at heart wise. Okay, so it's like, this person is a really kind person. They're very kind hearted. They're very loving, very compassionate, very tender. This one, I feel like, they've been through their fair share of struggles, and I feel like they're it's somebody who's a little bit closed off and a little bit steely, okay, like a little bit icy. And so when you communicate with this person, you don't know if they're joking or if they're serious. You don't know if what they really like or dislike. You have trouble kind of like pinning this person down, and you don't know, like, on a heartfelt level, are they a really kind person? Are they compassionate? I feel like they're quite compassionate. It's just there's more to the story. You might be dealing as well with a Gemini who might be a little bit like fickle when it comes to the things that they like. Or if you're dealing with, other air signs, I feel like there might be you're really feeding into this energy mainly because there's an element of the thrill of the chase associated with you and this person. Hence, you're feeding into, this connection. Okay, you're giving your energy to it. And I also feel like this is a person that's like, I'll believe it when I see it. So they're not one to mince words. They're not one to fall for people and take people at face value. They're skeptical by nature because they have been through their fair share of struggles and deception and heartache. And so they're coming into, they're looking at life through a little bit more of a jaded lens, and they're looking at relationships in general with a healthy dose of skepticism. So I feel like this person is very action oriented, and they need to see the actions, the concrete actions from your end in order to know if they're investing in it. So I feel like they haven't really made up their mind about you, whereas the water sign, I feel like they have, okay? So what I'm getting here is there's really, really strong attraction that you have towards another person, but you don't really know a lot about this person. Okay, so there's still a lot more to be discovered. There's still a lot more to be explored in this relationship. And I feel like you're giving a lot to it. And you look at this person and you're just like, this is somebody that, I do want to spend a lot of time with. I do feel like they're a good match for me. And there's just really, really, really strong attraction, very, very strong attraction. And I feel in general, for many of you, especially singles, okay, good for dating. With this magician card, it's sort of like you're on center stage, you're showcasing your talent, you're able to kind of like, people are listening to you talk, and they see you as someone who's very eloquent, who's very articulate, and who's just really, really amazing, like very knowledgeable. And so there are a lot of good things coming through at the end of this month, and I feel like, your energy should definitely be focused here. The relationship situation, I feel like it has its fair share of newness, which is can be very exciting for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, Sagittarius. I will be back in about maybe in about a few weeks, okay, to do your reading. And I do wish you all the best. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. And for those who are looking for a reading, I do have a link in the description box below for a psychic. Her name is Bridget. She's based out of California. If you're looking for spiritual guidance, or you know someone who is, I highly recommend that you get a reading with her. She's phenomenal. Okay, so take care of yourself. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.